This is A-Game, fast-acting, long-lasting, with no side effects.
What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on SHEEPSTAYSLEEPTV. Shout out to everybody who support the platform. Much love. And we back with another video. And in this video, I want to speak on how Black men being the pillars of negative influence. Now, I'm saying this simply because Black men, we have abandoned our nature for this culture. We have abandoned who we are as men. A lot of us has forgotten what our nature is for. Male nature is for fulfillment. So we don't protect, problem solve, provide, and procreate for no reason. We don't provide system, order, and structure for no reason. It is for fulfillment in life, fellas. But it seems like we chose to accept a culture. And when we say a culture, we're talking about society at large, influence, ethics, nature, what people are doing in society, people's behavior, what we do and how we act collectively as a group is our culture. And today, Black men display negativity as our culture. That is what we show. That is what we promote. That is what we promote to each other as Black men. That's why Black men, we always getting into some, contentious type of argument. It's always some type of beef. It's always some type of animosity. And the reason why that's always so amongst Black men is because we practice a lost value system. And in this lost value system, it teaches Black men to be pillars of negativity. It teaches you to not be attached to anything in life. It teaches you not to value your family. So this is why it's so easy for Black men to run around and have a bunch of children with a bunch of different women and not try to keep a steady relationship so they can actually develop their family. See, the lost value system tells us to go be pimps. The lost value system tell us to go be players and to run around and to do all of the shit that we doing. Which in the end, we all know is not success. Because when you listen to the ex-pimps, the ex-players, they all tell you that that's who they were at that specific time. It's about growth. It's about not being that pillar of negativity. This is why you see, Don Juan and those brothers in the church and Reverend Seymour and all those brothers. It is because they don't want to be seen as the pillars of negativity, because that is what Black men are not supposed to be. Black men are supposed to be spiritual family men. That is what Black men are supposed to be. Black men are not supposed to be street runners, drug dealers, hustlers, criminals. That is not what we're supposed to be. That is not in our nature. That is not in our culture either. We all know that the other groups of men, they come from a criminalized culture. We know that. We can look it up. We fell in love with gangsterism watching them, not watching us. We fell in love with criminality and making money out in the streets, watching those movies, not watching ours. The black movies that they made about us running the streets and doing all of that, that was because we was trying to get in the movie industry. So a lot of us took place in black exploitation films just so we can be seen. It's just like today in Hollywood where you have the black men playing the thug, the black man playing the down low brother, the black man playing the kingpin, the black man playing, the serial killer. It's the same thing. It is because black men has to be seen as the pillars of negativity. This is why it was so easy for them to come out and say black men are super predators. Black men are terrorists. You see? It is because black men are the pillars of negativity of the world. That is what's being promoted to everyone. This is why now in the music business, they're promoting that all the young black men be savages and be demons. You got to be on demon time. You got to be a hitter. You got to really be about that life. You got to really be outside. You know, that goofy stuff. That is because black men are the pillars of negativity. What are we going to do about this, fellas? See, because while we're still running around following the lost value system and being the pillars of negativity, they're getting rid of us simultaneously. You notice how these young brothers is getting swept out of neighborhoods and getting hit with RICO charges? These young brothers getting 50, 60, 75 years at 17, 18, 19 years old. And they're being plastered on the news to show everyone, these guys, we're getting the negativity off the streets. These guys are the reason why your neighborhoods need police. These guys are the reasons why your neighborhoods need to be gentrified. This is what they're doing, fellas. This is why we have to understand why it's important that we begin to put some value on our life and understand the importance of value over price. Understand the difference. When you're dealing with value, you're dealing with things that are worth something. Some things you just can't put a price on, and you can't put a price on your spirituality. You cannot put a price on your health. You cannot put a price on your family. You cannot put a price on your appearance to the world, because you could be a dude dressed up in a suit and still be seen as a piece of shit. You see? Because your appearance value is more than your image. This is why Mr. Image Consultant is going through what he's going through, because people are starting to see who he really is. See, your image is just who you appear to be, who you can show up as. Anybody could show up looking nice and speaking nice, but are you really that person? You see? So you can't put a price on your appearance value. You cannot put a price on peace in your home. Peace where you live, where you rest your head. You cannot put a price tag on this stuff. You can't. You can't. So you have to begin, brothers, to put value there. So stop saying you need money to be healthy. You don't. You need the wherewithal first. You need the wealth of knowledge first. Understand that. You don't just need money to feed your family. A man doesn't live off bread alone, but everything that comes out of his mouth. How are you directing your family? Can your children come and talk to you? Do you sit down and talk to your children? Do you have conversations with them? Or are you being a dad? Is it all about you paying the bills and calling shots? Is that what it is to be a father to you? To be a dad? I'm gonna just make sure these bills are paid, but my son can't come talk to me. My son can't come and express himself and tell me what he's going through. You see? See, because then that leads to your son going out in the streets and acting out because he feel abandoned. Because of what? Because of no love and support, which is a breakdown of the family value. You see, once you lose your children, you can't pay to get them back, fellas. And what I mean by lose them, I'm not talking about lose them from the state. I'm talking about lose them from your heart and in your mind. Once your children don't know you in their heart and in their mind, you're done. You can never positively influence your children from then. So we have to pay attention to what's important. And this shit right here, fellas, this shit is not important. This is the reason why we're being seen as the pillars of negative influence, because we're practicing a value system that's keeping us stuck there. We're practicing a value system that only produces negativity. It only promotes chaos and confusion, which goes against what? Male nature, because male nature is about order. It's about order. So the lost value system produces chaos in a man's life, which keeps us what? The pillars of negative influence. And then when you got little Nas X, when you got little Dirk, when you got all these other young boys out here promoting this backward value system, this lost value system to other brothers, that incentivizes them to say, well, okay, shit, well, they doing something right. I might as well get paid to be the face of drill music. I might as well get paid to be the biggest influence on young black men killing each other in Chicago, because I make the soundtrack to the drive-by. I make the soundtrack to the walk-up. Black men, we need the 10 life values, brothers, so we can stop being those negative pillars, y'all. Those pillars of negative influence is only going to stop when we begin to value ourselves and not practice a lost value system that's told to us that that's the people who are winning. Because the people who you see are winning financially are destroyed spiritually. Their families are destroyed. People don't like them. People can't stand them. Only people like them like them. So understand what we're dealing with, fellas. Understand what we're dealing with. When you're talking about black men being the pillars of negative influence, we're speaking on negative media portrayal and how they use this so-called drill culture to keep black men the face of negative influence. the pillars of negative influence to other men, to Black people. So what that does is that moves our children away from us, that moves our women away from us. And this process of bio-code can continue to happen and continue to mull over our race. Because I'm speaking to us brothers, man. So shout out to everybody. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I drop some new content right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to the A-Game family. Salute to the A-Game Nation. I appreciate all of the visionaries. Much love to y'all, and I'm going to catch y'all on the next video. Peace.
Auditioning. Thug number 1, thug number 2.
For slaves,
prostitute.
There's always the hustle.
literate basketball players.
Mary had a little lamb.
The fog.
The only narrative that they understand of Black life is drug addict, drug dealer, gang member.
I was the hottest Black actor in the world after Boys and I. There were people clamoring to work with this young sensation. As long as he did the roles they wanted him to do, which were street kids.
I had been in this thing that is a masterpiece of American cinema, and nobody gave a shit. They really didn't give a fuck.
I auditioned for my first pimp part. My mother's all proud. You know, be the best pimp you can be. The whole church is praying for me.
Let's pray that Brother Robert gets the role of Silky Good Dick. The film is called Holes on the Stroll. It sounds like a musical.
And then that's when the filmmaker was born. I said, man, we can't let Hollywood tell our stories. We got to tell our own stories. Filmmakers do anything and everything. And images travel around the world.
They have a perception of us that ultimately is false.
This is A-Game. Fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.